Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're doing tea time with Mr. K. I'm here with Maya and Mr. K. So, go.
Hello. Today we'll be drinking they call it a Dragon Ball when they make it into a little ball like this, and it's called sticky rice shupuar. Shupuar just means it's fermented, and it will taste really good. And the sticky rice part means it's going to taste like sticky rice. People from last year might remember that I've done this before. This is not my first time doing it on RPTV. So this time I'm going to, I guess, evolve it and talk about using this method of tea as what's called a third space. Have you guys ever heard of like a third space?
No.
Thing that there's three spaces. Your home, that's where you are in your home and you're comfortable. Your work, that's where you go to work every day. And that third space is where you're comfortable but with friends and people you know. So you could use third space as just like really anywhere. It could be the park that you always go to. It could be whatever gym you go to. It could be just anywhere you go to regularly.
So it's like a hobby.
Like a hobby. You can use tea as your third space with your friends, which is very important and very unique as a third space. You guys can drink.
Okay.
You don't gotta wait for me. You guys remember how to drink?
Yeah.
See what it tastes like sticky rice? And this is the first steeping, so it's only gonna get stronger. Let's say you're at the park and you're going and you're playing basketball or something, right? For something that's more common. You're with your friends, you're hanging out, but you're also playing basketball. You're not having deep conversations when you're playing basketball. If you use something more low key like tea, it's like, all right, on Thursdays we just have some tea.
Yeah.
Then when you have that space, there's now space for conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk. You can sit face to face. You can talk about your day. You can get to know the people, and you'd be surprised, like, just how
I can taste like the rice.
Yeah, I can too.
sticky rice,
Yeah.
right? I told you.
Very
And there's still that tea. I don't know. I really like
Yeah.
sticky rice teas. Look how cool that looks. You can see it like slowly
Whoa.
opening the Dragon Ball.
It's like turning a whole different color now.
Yeah, it's gonna get darker, and then it'll get light again once it gets steeped a couple more times. At least in my personal experience, I've realized you get closer with friends because you have to talk. I mean, you can talk about the tea a little bit, but eventually it's just you're having tea.
Yeah.
You know, it tastes good, but there's only so much you can talk about the tea.
Thank you.
And this one's gonna be a lot stronger, and I'm gonna hope
I'm excited.
I didn't ruin it.
It already tastes pretty good too.
Beauty of tea is you can never ruin it that much. It still tastes pretty good. Personally used it for is I've gotten closer with friends that I might not have been able to talk to as much, where I would just be like, hey, come over, we're gonna have some tea. It's either me and them or me and them and like one other person. It's usually designed to be for pretty small groups. Oh,
Yeah,
that's a lot more intense. You see
Yeah,
that?
it's very
I was like,
much stronger.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, it gets. You can like single out friends you haven't seen in a while. I've done it with like family members I don't talk to that much because maybe there's an age gap. Maybe they're like 20 or 30 plus years older than me, and we haven't had a lot to bond over. But when you're just sitting having tea, you could also just sit in quiet if you need it. If you need a space to relax, and it's very easy. You just pour some hot water on some leaves.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What's that?
This
Yeah.
is the tea pet.
Oh,
Ooh.
Pretty cool. His name is Samson.
Samson.
Yes.
Hi, Samson.
The camera's there, right?
Yeah.
So I should face it that way. Samson has little coins leading to him, so it's
Yeah.
supposed to bring luck and money your way. So what you do, here, I'll make another cup here. When you steep the tea, you usually save a little bit for the tea pet. Works for two reasons. Like we do it for two reasons. One is the method that I steep tea is just a cup and a lid, right? You could see cup, lid, and then I stop the tea from flowing out. I'm actually gonna do. There's a lot of tea in here. Nothing. And if you look at the very bottom, there's just a little bit of tea. That's just the nature of it's impossible to do it perfectly with this unless you go really slow, but I want it to go faster. Use anything you want as a tea pet. they make, like, this is a specific thing that's made. It's usually made from unglazed clay. But now, all that extra tea that you
Yeah.
kind of don't want in people's cups, Samson loves it. So there is ways to mess up tea and make it harder or taste worse.
Do you have an example of that?
So, this one right now, if you saw how quick I steeped it, right, and what I did, and I'm doing little techniques as well. Like, when I pour, you can see, I'll show the camera a little bit, I don't know how much you can zoom in, but you can see that the ball is still mostly intact, right? If I pour directly on the ball, it's going to steep actually faster because it's rushing through and going through all of it. If I pour down the side, like that, you can see I'm on the edge. It doesn't make as much of a rushing water, so it's not as strong because there's a lot of tea in there and it can get very bitter. You can already taste a little bit of the bitterness. That just comes with tea. But if I steeped this incorrectly, it would be really bitter and it'd be hard to drink. It would be like, oh, this is kind of gross. But then loose leaf teas that are just like all the kind of tea loose hanging around, that you have to be careful which way you pour it, because the way I just did will actually make the water vortex around, and that'll make it really strong as well. So it's all like different steeping techniques. There's a lot of depth to the art of actually doing the tea service. I love frogs. Probably my favorite animal. They're just so cute. You guys have any other questions about the tea?
What made you want to start drinking tea and get into this?
Ever since I was younger, I wanted to get into tea because all the cool people drank tea. Like, think about in like media, and you think of old wise men sitting around drinking tea, right? I feel like it's even wise women. It doesn't matter. Like the elderly, they're wise, or even not that old. You know, it could be just like adults. But when they're wise, they're drinking tea. And I've always been fascinated. I've also always been fascinated by drinks. I started at a young age because it's all down to like the quality of the product and the skill of the person making the tea. But I didn't like tea, or I thought I didn't. I thought it was gross. I did not understand the hype because I was drinking just Lipton tea bags, and I was doing it wrong. I was putting my tea bag in, putting the hot water, and then drinking, not taking it out, which means maybe like the first quarter was like, okay, this is bearable, and as I got lower and the tea sat there, it made everything super bitter. I was like, I can't do this. I would never finish a cup. Eventually, I just kept drinking it anyway, and then I got into higher quality teas and was like, oh, that's so different. Like, I would never expect tea to taste like sticky rice, like this one kind of does. I've had teas with like a smoky flavor because they get smoked when they're cooked, and there's so much nuance. I had whiskey barrel aged, where they took retired whiskey barrels and they aged the tea. They didn't like use any whiskey in the tea or anything. They just took tea they already made and aged it inside of that barrel, and you kind of got some of the woody notes. You got a little bit of the whiskey notes, and like those subtle flavors you pick up on tea, to me, is so interesting, so nuanced, and so just cool.
Like add anything to your tea, like honey, milk?
I normally do not. I've actually never had tea with milk, but I've heard it's very good. I don't know. I kind of like the teas. But my philosophy is the best way to enjoy anything is however you enjoy it. Because there are some people that are like, I mean, with tea, with coffee, with anything, you have to have it this way. You have to, I need my tea with honey or it's not good. Or you have to have it tea pure or it's not good. I forgot to make a really strong one.
I don't know about you, Anna, but I like my coffee really sugary.
Yeah, I like my sugar too,
Yeah.
like a little creamer in there.
And that's
too.
totally fine. Actually, so last year I did tea in my classroom times, just because it was there, and I had students come in and they saw it, and one brought his own honey, and he would in this tiny little cup he would do like a little bit of honey, mix it in with his like finger, and drink it. And I was like,
His
I mean,
finger?
heck, yeah, he would.
You didn't bring no spoon?
No, he did not bring a spoon, but he would mix it with his little finger.
Wouldn't it be hot? Like,
He was, I don't know. He didn't care. He wanted his tea. I mean, think of like the really famous tea stuff that you've heard, right? You've probably heard of the Japanese tea ceremony, right?
Yeah.
That actually originated from China, which is what this is from.
yeah, where'd you get this set from?
I got this set online, but from a guy that is authentic. Like, he's from China. Oh, this one was much better. I feel like you have to, I've been steeping it really quick,
Yeah.
and the bitterness really cut back. So I'm happy I saved I got the tea set online from a place called West China Tea Company. They're in Texas, is where they're like located. But the guy comes from China. He visits China every year. He talks to actual Chinese tea farmers and says stuff like, what's it called? And like make sure it's good, sits down, has tea with the people, make sure it's like a family-owned thing, no pesticides, high-quality tea. So I found him on YouTube. I trusted him. I was like, I'll buy your stuff. I try it out. The cheapest one is like $70 for like, and it comes with basically everything you need. It comes with, this is called a gaiwan. I forget what the lid is called, but gaiwan just means cup with lid, and that's the way you can steep it. It comes with 3 cups, and it comes with the Gong Dao Bei, which translates to just this cup. And that's because if I were to steep it in just this, and then I pour in my cup, your cup, I will have the weakest tea, Maya's will be just right, and yours will be too strong. Because like those couple of seconds could, with how much tea is in here, how quick it all is about. So it comes with all that stuff. All you would need is the kettle, and you'd be able to make this. So I found it on that. Japanese tea ceremony. Tea originated in China, and China was a very secluded country, like way back. It still kind of is. Mm-hmm. But so the first people to move away from China and bring tea with them was the monks, Buddhist monks. So they used tea as meditation. So they took it very seriously, did it like a ceremony, and that was the first experience Japan got of drinking tea, and they took that and ran with it. Where in China, tea is like a unifying force. You can find tea in every single place. So you go to the hardware store to buy your drill for fixing your house, and there's a guy probably serving tea out there. He's like, take a cup while you look. There's no rules, and actually, if we're normally having tea, usually it's like hours. It's like what they do at the end of the day. They're done working. Like, all right, get home, eat dinner, and we have tea until we fall asleep. So we would do, this will obviously eventually run out of flavor, and usually once this one runs out, it'd be Maya's turn. And now Maya serves while we just sit and drink, and then it'll be your turn, and you keep going until we either fall asleep or run out of tea. Any other questions you got? Anything else you want me to explain?
Are there like certain types of tea that you do, like if you're like taking a test or if you want to relax a little bit?
Absolutely. So there is what they call the chi of the tea. That's the breath. And you can feel it. It's actually pretty cool. Science has no reason why you can feel it, which I think is very interesting. Because the breath of the tea, oftentimes, you can feel as soon as you take a sip, if you have like really good tea. Aged teas, you just pour the hot water on. It could be boiling. Like this, I didn't even make this boiling. I specifically made it not hot. The way you feel it is instant as soon as it touches your lips, which is why science can't explain it. It doesn't like hit your system and the chemicals hit just right, and like caffeine, where it's like, oh, you get hyper because of this caffeine in the whatever it is that has caffeine in it. Coffee, tea has some caffeine. So because it's instant as soon as it hits your lips, we have no idea why. But you can genuinely, like, I've felt it, where it's like, you take a sip, you're like, oh, you relax, or oh, I woke up, or anything. So different teas definitely have different things. I will say, usually darker teas have more energy to them, and it's super, if you guys want to check it out, West China Tea Company, not that expensive. It'll be more than your regular Lipton tea, though, I'll tell you that.
It'll be worth it.
I believe so. But yeah, so go do this with your friends. Have some tea. Have some time where you actually get to chat with them.
Yes.
You see, there's also a tranquility to it, because there's the moment everyone sips, you look around.
I like this one.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit sweet.
Oh yeah, at the end.
I feel like it is.
It's getting there. And like I said, near the end of teas,
Yeah.
especially black teas, I found the end of black teas get sweet. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I'm like her. I like it sweet and light. But my one buddy who drinks very strong coffee, he's like totally okay when it's, he has like the blackest of black coffee,
I cannot
Yeah.
do that.
and it's
I
super
just
strong,
can't
and it's
drink
so
it
much
like
caffeine, and it's like,
that. No.
more power to you, buddy, but I cannot. It also helps that I have not put my kettle back on the heating thing. So I could have put this on and it would have stayed at 200 degrees the whole time. I purposely let it cool because of two reasons. One,
It's getting lighter.
yeah, this is running out, but it makes it easier to steep. I don't have to think as much because if it's less hot, there's less of a chance of it over steeping, which is what's making it like sweeter and lighter. So I don't have to think as much because I knew I was gonna be talking while I'm doing it. But the other is just so I'm not like constantly over here
Yeah.
lifting, and so you guys can drink it without burning your mouths.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I'll be honest, I burnt my mouth in the beginning.
On the first
a
one?
bit. Yep.
I knew if you hear when I slurp, there's actually a way you can taste. I didn't even pour any. Do you need more? Put more. I'm gonna show you something. There's a way you can taste tea that is super. I think it's super cool. So, you listen for what I do. I'm gonna slurp through my mouth like, and I'm gonna keep my mouth, my lips closed, my teeth open. I'm gonna breathe out through my nose. It's called retro olfactory tasting, and you will taste different notes than what went in. So. Yeah, like when you do that, it looks funny, but when you do that, I promise you will taste something different. It's more nutty on the way out. So you can even try it with what you have there.
No, you should try it.
So what do you do?
So you slurp. Part of the slurping is twofold. One, that's what makes, if it's like really hot tea, the slurping cools it. That's how, if you watch, they'll have boiling, 212 full boiling tea, and they'll still drink it as soon as it's poured. That's because they're slurping very vigorously, and that aerates it. So that cools it, and because it's aerated, you get all the olfactory notes. So you can only taste 5 things with your tongue. I don't know if you guys knew that. Salty, sweet, bitter, sour, umami. That's it. Everything else that you taste is actually your nose smelling things. So if you have like no nose at all, like you really cannot get anything, many things will taste very similar. You're basically just going to be tasting like salty and sweet stuff. Like that's it. So what you're doing is you slurp, that gets the nose going, you swallow. After you swallow, exhale through your nose, but keep your mouth open. Or you keep your lips closed, but teeth open. You look like that. You look a little silly, but you're going to taste like nuttiness.
Do it.
Yeah.
You see it? I think that was really cool. I was like, when I saw it on a YouTube video, and I was like, is that real? Like, how much could it really be different? And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
If
that's
you see
actually
it,
crazy.
like you see it, yeah.
That's crazy. You guys want more tea?
Yes.
I can probably make one more. Oh yeah, this got really cold.
Oh no.
Thank you.
I can tell you guys a fancy way to say thank you when you're having tea.
What is it?
How is it?
So, it even has a story with it. The listeners from last year will remember. But you take 2 fingers like this, and you tap like that, right? And what that does, as like a thank you, or what the story is, there was a Chinese emperor that loved being with the common people. He loved being, because he's like, if I am going to rule these people, I need to see what they're about, I need to learn about them, I need to care about them. So he would mingle, and he loved serving tea. But obviously he couldn't just go out and, as the emperor and just serve tea, so he had to have royal bodyguards. But he was in a disguise, so everyone else did not know that he was the emperor except those guards. And they thought it disrespectful to be served tea by the emperor and not bow down. But if they bowed down, the people around would be like, why are you bowing? Like, who is this guy? Why are you bowing like that?
Yeah.
They bowed with their fingers.
Oh.
And that works twofold. One, if usually when you're making tea like this, you see how rapid fire you can be serving. So imagine if every single time mid-conversation you have to say, oh, thank you, you're welcome, all that stuff, like formalities. So now instead you just do that, I know what it means. You don't have to break the flow of conversation.